god. Oh, thank God we're not doing 6 episodes today. I was hoping to get out of here by 4. We're not. That was fun.
Was it?
That was great.
Was it?
That was a great time.
Was it?
Yeah. I had a great time. God, I cannot wait till we talk about that, but we gotta watch the next one first.
And that one's lighter.
Did I say that? Oh shit. Oh my god. Oh, we're gonna
The 520 cents.
The right? 520 cents promise. I'm excited to get to the 520 cents promise. Because I actually really like this part of the show. Oh my god. Okay, and we're back.
I'm gonna lose time. That's gonna be 2 hours. That's
yes. Okay, and we're gonna try.
I'm gonna feel like I'm gonna cut out most of.
Yeah. Anyway, so we are still talking about Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. We are discussing episode 31, the 520 cents promise. Dara, what do you think?
How much is 520 cents?
I think we can think of cents as cents, and so it would be like probably like $5.
$5 for a phone call?
Oh, true. Probably less. Probably more. Probably
in 19.
Actually, I don't know math. Maybe I don't know math. It's probably like. Maybe it was a long distance.
Is Cens connected to the? Well, I mean, isn't it all the same country? Just like different,
Yeah, probably. But maybe it's because
is Cens like this. Are we saying like Cens or like yen?
I tend to interpret a lot of currency in Japanese media like yen in the way because it often has like very large numbers for like smaller amounts, like in the same way like Poké Dollars in Pokemon. I'm a big Pokemon fan, so I'm not sure that's the case. I don't actually know what the exchange equivalent is, but it could also be, unless it's tied to like the hyperinflation of like Germany in the early 20th century, to which like there's big numbers to mean less, which could also be the case. I don't know how the Emestrian economy works, and I think we do not have enough time for me to get into figuring out how the Emestrian economy works. Since it's standard unit of currency in Emestris and is available both in paper bills and varied metal coins, it can be inferred that the paper bills are worth more to many real currencies. It is about equal to 1 Japanese yen. Okay, yeah.
So long distance call and pay phone is shown to have cost 520 cents.
Long distance. Okay, it's a long distance.
Coffee costs 100 cents instead of high quality automail, was shown to cost 10 million cents.
Yeah. Who texted me? Who's that? Oh, I was like, I didn't recognize the area code. It
doesn't say. I guess so. We're saying it's like, so it was like $5 for
long distance phone call. Yeah.
In 19, I don't know what year it is.
I think it's probably because, again, if it isn't as robust of a system as we have for communication, it's going to cost a lot of money to communicate across long distances.
But I'm thinking of like inflation though.
Yeah, but like, let's maybe not think about the economy. I'm already struggling with like our economy. Anyway, so we're leaving off right where the end credit scene of last episode ends, where Envy Vengeance,
huh? Damn it! It's Scar. Marco must have told him about his role in Ishbal.
Hooray! What?
Get it?
What?
There was a dog missing.
Was there a dog in there?
Yeah. They just showed the empty color. You'll figure it out.
Was there a dog in there?
It wasn't like a dog. It was like one of the chimeras.
Why was there a chimera in there?
It was like the guard dog. Goes to see Marco in his cell and then sees a corpse with the word vengeance written in blood. And now knowing that Scar knows about Marco's involvement in the Australian Civil War, and they figure that Scar's out and about. It's probably not great. Anyway,
we should probably kill him.
The Fuhrer's basically hired you to be his hostage. Will you be all right?
He's just getting
It's all in
paid.
how you look at it, I guess. This close to him, it just means I'll have a better chance to kill him in his sleep.
You scare me.
She wild.
Pass this on for me. Tell the Colonel that Scar is back.
Sure thing, no problem.
At least she gets to keep her dog.
Lieutenant,
Yes, what is it?
I just want to say thanks for telling me about Ishval.
I'm fine.
She looks so sweet and nice, but she's a war criminal. Ed leaves Hawkeye's house.
Apartment.
Yeah, or
it's not a house. Let's be honest.
It's apartment. And they kind of remark about some of the new positions that are happening because now Hawkeye is the personal assistant to the Fuhrer, and Hawkeye's like, maybe I can shoot him while he sleeps, and it's like, you're terrifying.
Don't shoot him while he sleeps. That's a bad idea.
Also, I love her.
I love her too, but she should not.
She shouldn't do that. No.
Especially because like that one eye.
Also, the funny part, like she's joking about just like shooting someone and they're like.
I do kind of like there's still places where like we can talk about this stuff and joke about stuff and like nobody's like watching us because like it does actually give that point of just like we're not being watched 100% of the time.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
Yeah.
Unlike today. I think it just depends on what you're on. Anyway,
True.
you could go on.
Anyway, I'm gonna keep going. So Ed also asks Hawkeye to deliver a message to Mustang that Scar he's still around. Just keep an eye out for that guy. And
That's terrible. It's tough to even hear about Ishval.
And she didn't hold back, even though I'm practically a kid. They say an
Good.
alchemist is one who seeks after the truth. And yet, I knew nothing about what happened in Ishval.
You think the Colonel's concerned about what happens after he gets what he wants?
I know I would be if I were him, you know? Hey, Al, what are you gonna do when you get your real body back? I mean, afterwards.
Well,
Spend
let's
6 months
see.
in the ICU.
First thing, I really want to eat some of Winry's apple pie.
you have to work yourself up to that one, buddy.
Right.
Then Ed goes to meet Al, and they talk about, Ed kind of shares what he learned about the Ishvalan War, and Al's like, damn, that's heavy. And they also kind of talk about kind of the things that they're going to do to complete their own mission, talking about, what it's going to be like when their bodies are back. Al has a list of things that he's doing as soon as he gets his body back. Ed's not so sure yet. And they also talk about...
Well, I found a trace of hope for us. You know how our alchemy would work when we were under central command? Well, guess what? It wasn't working above ground either.
But what about Scar and that girl?
Exactly. They were the only ones who could use it.
Well, if that's the case, they're doing something different. Something with their alchemy we don't know about.
Yeah.
Yeah, which means we haven't
Don't
hit
they
a
know what
dead end
alchemy
yet.
is?
Yeah, but they
You
think
mean
it's
she's
alchemy.
gone?
They
The
thi-
little obnoxious girl left?
And what Ed discovered was that when their alchemy was turned off underground, it was also the same for people above ground too. So it wasn't just a small localized thing. It was a large area where this was affected. And they're also trying to figure out why regular alchemy was not working, but Scar and May's alchemy was working. Because as far as they know, and I think we talked about a little of this in the episode, but Ed and Al are kind of like, anything that people say is not alchemy but looks like alchemy to them, they kind of like scoff at it.
So
Like,
they don't
"That's
fully
alchemy."
understand what alchemy is.
Yeah, correct. They think it's a different name for the same thing.
Okay, so they think that alchemy is basically like the Shing version of alchemy.
Yes.
And that's the exact same thing. They just call it something different. When in reality, alchemy is very much like healing.
It's very similar.
It's similar, but it's not about like fighting. It's
used
about like
for different
healing.
things. But and also I think that's backed up. That assumption is also backed up by the time that Ed went to Xerxes, and he was talking about, I believe he was talking to Fu about the history of alchemy, and they realized that they had two very similar origin stories for how alchemy was brought to Amestris and how alchemy was brought to Jing. In the way that there was somebody from the east or the west. Ideally, it was somebody who was coming from the same area as Xerxes who came to that area and was like, yo, let me teach you this thing. So I think that even further solidifies, if you have like the same story, it's got to be the same thing.
Right, and also like, because I saw Mei Chang like fight.
Yeah.
And that was still using alchemy to fight, right?
Yes.
Which I guess, and it was different technically, right? Because like she needs to like do the thing and then do the thing.
Yeah. But it's same like a slightly different flavor of the same substance.
It kind of felt like less destructive fighting because like it's more
Yeah.
just like I'm gonna fight, if I need to fight to protect myself right now, not like I'm gonna just like randomly commit war crimes. But like, did they know But they knew that Scar wasn't doing all the alchemy.
Yeah, they knew that he was stopping kind of partway through the process.
But I guess I felt like even if you stop partway through the process, you still can't do it.
It's still alchemy, so it's that they're still surprised that he.
So
was
it's
able to
not
do that.
exactly alchemy.
It's not the full alchemical process that they're using. So, but they're trying to figure out how to get that, to figure out what's going there. So I think they want to go talk to May to figure out, why she's doing that. But according to Dr. Knox, who they call on the phone, May is out skis. So they do not know where she is, but they want to track her down to just ask her about, hey, what the heck is different about your alchemy that's different from our alchemy?
But the only thing that's like odd about her was the panda.
Yeah, the only way they know how to describe her is what they think is a cat, but it's actually a small panda, Xiaomei. And
they both draw the
I'm trying to find the little girl who owns it. Look familiar?
No, it looks like this. I promise it's not some weird alien.
Oh, Ed.
I love it.
Seems like this search is getting us nowhere.
Because you
You know,
can't
they
draw.
might not be in Central anymore. Huh?
Full metal.
Oh, he looks so fancy.
You don't say. Xingyi's alchemy. Sounds promising. I'll ask around and let you know what I find.
He draws Xiaomei as like a small demon creature, and it is like, no, it looks like this.
No, it's like,
I love Al so much. Then we are kind of transitioning from their search for trying to figure out Mei Chang is and to the military guys. So Mustang's gang, the really important thing here is that the gang's officially breaking up.
Hell is that?
They're a gift from me.
Oh, come on. Couldn't you have just gotten me some magazines with girls in them?
These should keep you from slacking off while we're gone.
Leaving already?
Yep. Gonna eat some of that famous Western cuisine. Hold down the fort till we get back.
Aw.
bye.
Right. I'll see you later.
Here you go, boy. You eat up so you can grow big and strong.
He's so sweet.
You be good. Look after everyone.
Sergeant Fury.
Huh?
Hey.
Oh, Officer Fallman. I thought you had already left for the north.
I've got to return something to the colonel first.
Oh, he's an officer and he's a sergeant when the
Really
sergeant
weren't
looks
in
12
Central for very long.
and the officer looks
You're
like
being deployed
Yeah,
to
well, he's a
Southern
50.
Command,
He's a
right?
warrant officer,
Yes,
so
sir.
he is a higher ranking
Yeah.
thing.
well, not by choice.
Not by choice, but by force. So Breda stops by the hospital where Havoc is still there, because Havoc is just straight up leaving the military. And he, Breda delivers some dumbbells and is like, "Yo, keep your strength up. Hold down the fort while we're gone."
But you could have bring me some magazines.
He wanted Havoc wanted porn. Damn it.
Listen, I can still get stiff, and I wanted to masturbate to some bazoombas.
Yeah, exactly. Like, how else is he gonna keep himself occupied?
Listen, the guy's been through it.
You know what? It's true.
He found a woman who he didn't actually see her bazoombas for a while,
Yeah.
and then when he did, turned out that she was a villain, and then almost gets him killed,
And almost killed him. Yeah.
and then it left him paralyzed.
Rough. But, you know, Breda is close to Havoc and wants him to kind of keep up his strength, and he kind of makes a remark that he's gonna head out west and we're gonna see what happens.
Bye-bye.
I say we're gonna see what happens with him. We don't.
Oh, we're done.
I mean, a little bit, but I don't
It's
think
really we don't follow him.
Breda's not a huge character in the way that some of the others are, but we respect him. We also then we see Cain Fury, who is, you know, hanging out with Hayate, and then has a conversation
So
with
Fury
Fallman.
is a 12-year-old.
Yeah, Fury is the small boy. He is a man, but he just has a very boyish face, and he's the one who's very good with radios, and he is getting sent to South City.
Or he's Velma.
He's kind of Velma, yeah. And he's being sent to South City, and meanwhile, Fallman is being sent to the north. Good luck, buddy. It's rough out there.
What's in the north?
There's a border skirmish with Drachma, which is like the Russia equivalent in this universe.
Fine.
So and it's rough out there. We will get to meet them soon, I promise. Which is
Is
not a
that-
spoiler because they were in the opening.
I'm about to say that's the woman that you want to step on you.
Yes. And nobody can fault me for that. Anyway,
I mean, all I know about her is that like she's got blonde hair and like big lips.
yeah. She and a great personality too. Anyway.
Okay.
So no. Anyway, but so we're kind of seeing this kind of separating the team. Everyone's kind of going to their new assignments. So before Hake goes to be the Fury's assistant, she goes to pick up a few things that she left at Mustang's office.
Things are gonna be tough without my bodyguard.
Just don't get killed, sir.
Sure.
Don't be
Must be
stupid.
anxious, huh?
Maybe I picked the wrong person to side with after all.
Then go ahead and shoot me if that's what you think. You promised me that you would.
You haven't gotten quite that bad.
You're too kind, Lieutenant.
I love them.
Well then, Colonel. See you later.
Until then.
Good luck,
One
trying to
other
die.
thing. Try not to slack off too much.
Yeah.
Right.
Don't look at me. And as they're kind of saying their goodbyes, she's able to deliver the message that, like, hey, Scar's around, BT dubs.
But they're not far from each other, though.
No, but they feel far because now they know they're under close watch. And it's basically...
Like, it's more complicated for them to see each other.
Yeah, it's basically walking around with a knife to your throat at all times. And so they have to be real careful about things that they're talking about, the things that they're doing.
This is fine.
This is fine. It's so fine. It's so unbelievably fine. So then, of course, the Mustang's whole team is it like a chess allegory?
And like they
It's chess
explain it
metaphor.
more.
We're bringing back the chess motifs.
Yeah, it started off as a hobby of mine.
My bishop.
Yes, sir.
Get
I
it?
consider it an honor.
My rook.
Hello, sir.
My knight. I doubt that I'm the brightest.
He's not coming back.
Why is he so muscular? How do you have problems getting women?
And worst of all,
You gotta show up
I'll
those
He's a
follow
war
you into
criminal?
hell if you want.
they've even taken my queen. But I'm still not in checkmate. Not yet, anyway.
Oh, they're so sneaky. I love them.
This cat?
They're like, okay, this person's this person, so Fury's the pawn. Fomin's the bishop. Breda is...
I know in one
the
episode I had a
rook?
graphic.
Breda is the rook. Havoc is the knight. Hawkeye's the queen. Mustang's the king. I think... Editing Dara, please correct me.
I had a graphic in like one of the episodes.
Yeah.
So I think I'll find it again.
Yeah. That was off the top of my head. We'll see how right I am. I think I got...
No, you got Hawkeye right.
Yeah, if I get anyone confused, it's Braid and Havoc, but I think I have them right. But I know that Fury is the pawn, just because he's just a boy, even though he's not. He's a grown ass man, but still.
Is he? Is he grown?
He's a grown man. Yes, he just
Was he in
has
the
very
war?
boyish energy.
Was he in the war?
I don't think he was in the war. I mean, it's also important. I think that just we can put this out there that it's very possible that there were people in the military who were not being shipped out to fight at the war. Because I mean, obviously they still have to retain their commandment at Central. They still have to in their major stronghold cities like the South, West, and North. The Ishvalan Civil War was happening in like the Southeast region.
Okay.
So just want to put that out there.
Hooray.
You know, there's some people who probably didn't commit war crimes, but were serving in active duty at that time. Anyway, just like real wars. Look, there's just like Elvis. They didn't send him to the actual war part, but he was in the military. Where did they put him? Germany?
I don't remember. Yes, because that's where Priscilla was.
Yes. Look at us go. We know things. I
was about to say, like, he was pretty big before he went to the military, right?
Yes, very big. That's why it was a huge deal when he was drafted.
That's why they probably didn't send him very far.
Exactly. So later in the day, after Ed and Elle are looking for May and Xiao Mei, Mustang kind of pulls up in his car, asks them to get in, and they're kind of having a conversation about things. They're...
Thank you, but I don't really want to get any deeper in debt to you than I already am.
Speaking of, you owe me some money. So how about you cough it up?
Eyes on the road!
That's fair, not gonna lie.
Come on, how much did I borrow? 500 cents?
It was 520 cents! Don't
Hey!
con me.
I'm not conning you! I'm just not a penny pincher like you are!
I'm sorry, Colonel.
Yeah, they're just talking about kind of what's going on. And somehow in the conversation it gets brought up that like, oh, hey, you owe me money because, of course, Ed had borrowed 520 cents from Mustang to go make a phone call in a previous episode.
Also, a quick question, did the payment have like a dial thing or was it like the...
It's like a rotary.
Was that in there? That was then, right?
Yeah. Yeah, this is a very loose comparison to early.
I know. I was
20th
thinking of
century.
remember with the phone. I'm thinking of Mary Poppins. That's the one I can think of. Where they had the phone where you talked in here and then you put the thing up here, but you had to go operator Emmy.
Yeah.
Those kind of.
Well, actually, no. There is. Actually, no. I think it is operator based in this one because they do. Because remember when Hughes had to call in, he had to call the operator. And be
it was military because they didn't. I don't think they had to do that to get to
true.
Winry. I think they just called.
Yeah. I forget. We'll have to go back in the episode. But sometimes it's an operator. I want to think it's a rotary for some reason.
Okay.
But I could just be filling those details in my head. But anyway, so because Ed borrowed money and Mustang is kind of a cheapskate. He's like, yo, you owe me money. And then Ed goes to give him the money and he stops himself. He's like, no.
I'm just gonna hold on to this. But I promise to pay you back when you become Fuhrer.
Who told you?
Lieutenant Hawkeye told me.
Mm-hmm.
Also the war crimes.
Ishval, too.
Yeah. Remember? Good times. Good times.
Fullmetal. Go on and keep that money for now. But you will pay me back.
I'm gonna hold on to this until you become a Fuhrer. And Mustang is very surprised by that because that's a closely guarded secret. Like the fact that he's not the fact that he is going for once lofty leadership goals. I think because of the way that Ed is talking about it, and he was like, because it's not just I'm gonna hold on to this to become Fuhrer, but then he's like, and then I'm gonna borrow more money and then hold on to that until you make this country a democracy.
All right, and when that day comes,
Okay.
I'll borrow some more change and pay that back when this country's a democracy.
Hey.
But when that day comes, I'm gonna ask to borrow even more money from you.
You're not planning to let me off the hook for a very long time, are you?
Nope.
Now you get it. And you better not worry the lieutenant either. Thanks for giving us a ride.
Bye. I'll remember all your war crimes.
Sure. See you later.
So he's kind of revealing that he knows kind of about the whole plan, and that's a closely guarded secret because if you think about it, if you make known that you want to restructure the entire government, more people are going to probably say, no.
If that's something you wait to do until you get elected.
Yeah, so that's a very closely guarded
or take
secret
over
between Mustang and his very innermost circle. And so he's like, how do you know about that? And then Ed kind of shares that, he talked to Hawkeye and they talked about Ishval and everything like that. And so
but that's kind of like a promise. Like I will give you this money and or take more money and then give you back the money when you actually fulfill those promises that you want to do.
So the 520 Cens Promise, that's the title of this episode, is the promise for Mustang to become Fuhrer. I'm hoping this is in the trivia notes. That's not the line in the manga.
Okay.
The line in the manga is, I'm going to borrow 520 cents and give it back to you when you become president. Which that singular line means, I'm going to give this back to you not when you become leader of the country through the military dictatorship, but after you get in charge of the country and then reform it to then be the democracy.
So if saying president means
so I think that line has so much more weight to it than Fuhrer. I think that's a way better line. And
I
think
so too, because you Fuhrer and king, for example, are very much you're in charge, ruling kind of thing.
Yes.
If you say president or prime minister,
yes,
that's very much you're the head, but you're in a democracy.
But it's a democracy. Yes. And so I'm actually kind of annoyed
everybody
by
got that?
Yeah. Yes. So I feel like it just has a lot less weight to it when he's like, I'll go back to you and Fuhrer. I feel like it has so much punch to it when it's president because the word president is so foreign in this context because of the nature of the military and the government up until this point in the show.
Right. So, would be how would he know the term president?
I think that's probably part of the reason. But to me it packed way more of a punch when I read it as president in the manga, and I'm hoping that this gets said in the trivia. I don't feel like losing my place here.
Okay.
So we'll circle back to that.
Okay.
Anyway, or unless that was just a singular English translation, but I really don't think it is. So then we kind of Ed kind of goes on. He's like, I'm keeping this money from you that he's really going to hold him to this promise to really change the government and do the things that he says he's going to do. So he's like, this is actually, of course, Ed's way of saying not just you need to accomplish your goals, but you need to stay alive.
Yes.
Don't do stupid shit. And I think this is him also kind of saying for Hawkeye's sake as well. It's like, hey, because Hawkeye's going to get pissed if you die. So
And also,
don't
like,
do stupid
you
shit.
don't have Hawkeye to save your ass.
Correct. Mustang is very capable on his own, but like you also don't have a backup right now. So like, don't be a moron.
I mean, I feel like Mustang's type person, like, he would be more reckless when he had a team, but now that he knows that he doesn't, I think he might be more careful.
Yeah. We have to just trust that he is not an idiot, even though he is an idiot. He's an idiot in different ways.
Yeah.
He's an idiot in funny ways, but he is smart where it counts.
Yes.
And we hope that he keeps doing that, which would be really nice. The Elrics go back to their hotel, and they have a visitor.
You took long enough.
This guy is playing
I was
catch-up.
getting tired of waiting. You couldn't protect the prince. And look at you now.
Listen, buddy.
Oh, hey!
Rude!
Don't do that.
What do you think you're
How
doing?
dare you call yourself a member of the chosen clan?
Cut it out, old man. She hasn't
She
recovered
sacrificed
yet.
her arm!
I told you to stop.
It's really gone.
No.
Your arm. You lost your arm.
Please forgive me, grandfather.
It's a grandfather.
I'm sorry.
Then why'd you hit her?
Because he was upset.
You fool. You damn fool.
Oh.
Also, like, the whole losing the prince thing, that was his fault.
Lawn fawn that I would introduce her to an
Who is actually Fu. We have not seen Fu in a while.
Yeah.
Has a lot changed since he's been around. So, of course, last time we saw him, he was escorting Maria Ross from Xerxes to Jing so she can kind of, live in refuge or exile or however we want to look at that.
Are we gonna bring her back when we win?
I can't spoil that for you.
Oh.
But, like, it's a possibility. So
I would like that.
Yeah.
She's gonna be like, what did I miss?
Like, hey guys, how's it going? Oh my god, long time no see.
Especially with, what's his name? Came back?
Hufu?
Yeah.
What about him?
No, I was about to say his name. I forgot his name for a hot second.
Oh yeah, Fu. And so
It's like, what did I miss?
Yeah, so a lot has happened. So you know Lan Fan, who you were
I
working
do know
with?
Lan Fan.
They actually know each other very well. Yeah, so she is dismembered. Just the one arm though. She just took her own arm.
Which she did in order to protect Ling.
Yeah, and also the young master Ling. He is now a homunculus and also not really himself anymore. So like
he's all Jekyll, Hyde, Jekyll.
Exactly.
I just want to keep saying that so I can keep putting the meme.
No, I like that. I like it. Yeah, so it's a scene too because we see Fu, but then we see the scene later when he sees Lan Van and he's pissed because he's like, you took off your arm. You cut your own arm off. Do you understand the weight of that? Like, do you know?
Yes, I did it.
Do you know how messed up it is?
I did it for the job.
And he thinks he does it for the job. But we also find through this exchange, they're not just co-workers. They are grandfather and granddaughter. So they are family members. And Fu is really pissed. And I think his anger comes from a place of caring. He does slap her. We do not condone that.
No,
we don't condone that here. But it's shown to kind of come from a place of like he's talking about it as if this is for the job, like that we are supposed to like protect the house, like that we're supposed to do this, like this is how we like. Why did you do this to yourself? And then he kind of like slowly kind of breaks down because it's not just like that's crazy. It's he's seeing basically like his mutilated granddaughter and just like understanding the weight and the cost of everything that has happened kind of in his absence. So it's sad kind of. Yeah.
I didn't realize that like they were like related. I don't know, for some reason like I didn't think that like they were at the right age to be like grandfather and granddaughter.
Oh, okay.
I guess like he had gray hair, but I'm like his face didn't look that old.
Yeah.
And also like he was still like running around fighting, so I'm like he can't be that old.
Probably like in his 60s.
Okay.
If he had a kid at 20, then he had a kid at 20. Yeah. No,
also, like I mean, people could have kids younger in this economy.
Yeah, exactly. So we don't know. But yeah, they are.
But yeah, it's unfortunately the person who's supposed to protect is not.
It is not great. It's
but that was his fault.
Yeah. So it's
we know because we got the bloody note.
Yeah, we did. Yes, exactly. And he's we know he's still in there somewhere, but like it's just a way more complicated situation now.
Real engineer.
We decline. We appreciate such a kind gesture, but you've already helped us enough. We can find an engineer on our own if we must.
But we have one.
We have to do something.
We know multiple.
The
Yeah,
enemy has
and they're
not
good.
seen Lanpan's face. We refuse to risk the life of your engineer friend.
That's fair.
That's fair.
All right, then. Thank you.
Can we send them to the town?
Right. I know a
You're
place.
the only reason that my granddaughter is still alive. You have my gratitude.
What? Do I look like the kind of doctor that wants gratitude?
What is that, a floating cigarette?
Thanks, Dr. Knox. Thank you for saving me.
Aw. They do talk about the possibility of getting Lanpan automail and sending her to, like, Brisbane to get Rockville automail or Rush Valley. I don't know if they specified.
They
which
said we
Rockville.
know an automail mechanic,
Yes.
which could mean
They know
either,
too.
They know too. It could mean either Winry or Pinako, but like.
Yeah, and so they, but they declined this. They said, "Thank you for the offer. You already done a lot for us, and also there's a possibility we would be endangering ourselves and those around you if we made those connections,
Which, like,
is a
fair.
very strong possibility because we already know that Winry is under watch, probably.
Yeah.
Or they got tabs on Winry. They probably have tabs on Pinako too. I don't know if they actually have anyone out there because Pinako is kind of like in Bumblefuck. So I think it's less of a liability.
She's got Papa to take care of her.
Maybe.
Also, she
I don't know
doesn't
what
even
Papa is.
care.
She literally don't give a fuck. I'll love Pinako.
And she's got her dog, which is name I forgot.
Den.
Den.
We love Den. And so, but yeah, but like they, they understand that like making those connections is probably not smart right now, so they're just gonna figure out their own thing. And so we kind of see the departure, at least for
I
this,
thought that
like,
they were against automail in the beginning. I'm like, what? But like your granddaughter wants the automail, but then
yeah, it's more less of like, ew, we don't want that auto mail. It's more of like, no, we got to do it in our own way. So they kind of set off to do their own thing, and they kind of have to, they know they have to figure it out for themselves. They're also kind of in disguise, not quite. They're not really wearing their uniform that they're traditionally. They're dressed more like as regular Mestrians, but kind of more Western style clothes, and they're just going to kind of figure out their own thing.
Yep.
They have their own timeline because, of course, one of the reasons they needed the Secret to Immortality was to kind of secure their family's spot, or their clan's spot, I should say, in kind of the Emperor's favor. As we know, the Emperor's health is in poor conditions, continues to decline, so they need to figure out sooner than later, like, how to get this thing. So they have to get Lanfan an arm. They gotta figure out how to get Ling back, and then they have to get to the Emperor.
I mean, they could get Ling/Pride to the Emperor, because I think Pride would be down to roll. Agreed, that too.
Yeah, it's not Pride. Pride is somebody else. What would you like to know?
Agreed. I think he would like to rule.
Yes, he would, but I think it also has to. They want it to be in their favor. I think there's too many variables at this point, so they gotta figure out before they just rush into.
I think maybe if they get to know Greed, then they could be like, hey, let's make a deal.
Yeah. So they kind of are off to do their own thing. I forget when we'll see them again, but probably sometime in the future. Peace out. But then we get this kind of scene after that, where I think this is gonna be a happy scene. Don't worry about it. This is a happy scene. That sounds really suspicious the way I'm saying that. I genuinely mean it. It's actually a happy scene. Yes. It felt a little weird, but because we're all so suspicious. But like, let's just accept this for what it is right now.
Okay. Say it, and then I'll have my thoughts. I'm pretty sure every adult who was in the army in this show is a war criminal.
If they were sent to the front.
Oh, good evening, Dad.
What?
Good to see you.
It's been a while. How are you?
Fine.
Fuck off!
We were in the area, so we thought.
Oh.
You sure have grown up. And you, looks like you've lost some weight.
Thank you!
How's work going? Keeping you busy?
Yeah, I'm surrounded by corpses as usual. Well, I actually spent the last few days treating some live patients. It's absurd, huh?
Aww.
Just try to picture me saving lives.
Do you have 2 kids or 1?
Hey, Dad. I want to become a doctor.
Oh.
I know that you've been haunted by the things that you were ordered to do in Ishval. No matter what, you never gave up on helping people. That takes courage. For being a doctor, I love you.
Kid, there was a lot of war crimes going on there.
No, this is
Come
nice.
on in. It's not gourmet or anything, but I'll brew us up some coffee.
Yeah, so Dr. Knox, who has been taking care of the folks from Jing, he patched Mustang up. He's been pretty involved in this entire thing, and has stated before that he was very traumatized by the war. We kind of see a flash of some of the things he was dealing with. It's very horrific, and even as a doctor, he wasn't really he wasn't really following the Hippocratic Oath, probably. And so he the people he's been treating recently, he's used to being in a morgue, he's used to dealing with dead bodies, so he's not used to people being alive when he's treating them, and also not used to just treating people for the sake of helping them. So now he's been in this situation where people are thanking him for his work, and he's actually like doing good, and he's not used to that. And so it's this very interesting juxtaposition between his past of doing horrific war crimes, and then actually getting to help people and be a real doctor. And of course, the trauma that which he experienced after the fact kind of led to his estrangement from his wife and son. And he kind of ended up pushing them away. As he's reflecting on that, his wife and son are just in the neighborhood and they stop by. Sometimes it's just like that, Dara. It doesn't have to be bad.
Okay.
Because it felt a little too suspicious, but that's okay. No, so they stop by, and it actually, and I think it's this interesting perspective too, then from, I think, probably the way that Knox talks about himself and probably about his wife. We would assume that they don't, no one gets along because he sucks and they hate him. But they're like, hey, we were by, just wanted to say hello. And they actually end up having a very pleasant conversation where, Knox says, it's funny, I've actually been treating people and not just dead bodies anymore. And he's like, it feels good. And his family's so happy to hear this. I think they really want the best for him, genuinely. It just seems like a case of them not knowing how to help him after the war, and that's kind of what led them to be separated like that. And they have this moment of where his son is like, hey, I want to be a doctor too. The son genuinely seems to want that, either a relationship with his father or just, to have that kind of connection. And so Knox kind of but he kind of brings him into the home, and he's able to is like, oh, come in for coffee, whatever, because he's just a big jerk, even though he's got a soft spot. And you can hear the family in the background be like, oh my god, this place is a fucking mess. And they're like, oh my god, let's clean it before it comes back. Just being genuinely good people. And Knox gets to have this moment where allows himself to feel good for a moment and accept good things are coming into his life. So I know you got thoughts on this. No, I think it felt suspicious, but because it was just something that was really good, and I think we're so used to bad things happening that as soon as something good happens, we're like, this is too good to be true.
It didn't even feel suspicious in that sense. It felt suspicious for a couple things. I'm kind of wondering if it was just kind of animation or writing that felt off.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
that's
so
true.
One, the wife looked the same age as the son.
No, she had some wrinkles.
I didn't see that. I didn't know.
No, she had kind of
Okay, I didn't notice that. I guess the way her eyes looked, she looked very young. So I thought that was that his son and his son's wife?
No, yeah. No.
And then also I guess the fact that they're just popping by and they felt 100% forgiving felt a bit weird to me. I'm just you're not upset that you that this man just pushed you away. I understand
I know I think that gives us some really interesting perspective too about who Knox is as a person, because he seems like Jenny hard on himself, and as someone who is I don't have connections, I push the people in my life away, and I think we're getting to see less of maybe it wasn't that the people in his life hate him. It's more of they don't know how to help him, and they just kind of gave him the space that he thought he needed or wanted, and it's probably to protect themselves too, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you stop loving someone.
I know. I guess I kind of felt like being pushed away, you wouldn't be 100%. It felt like they were too forgiving of the pushing away. I kind of felt a thing of just look, I know you pushed me. I felt I think I'm more and the whole because I'm I want to be a doctor just like you. I'm that whole thing. It felt too cheerful and hopeful, and I kind of felt maybe it should have been a thing of you pushed me away, and I don't appreciate that. I understand why you did it, but I didn't appreciate it for me. But I kind of want to work on a relationship. Are you willing to do that?
Yeah,
that kind of felt that would be more realistic than.
I agree. It was a little too good.
It was a bit too hokey.
It was a little hokey.
I think that's a problem. If it's too hokey, it made me suspicious.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Very fair.
But like it's like this is like the same thing when I would say to you like, is Armstrong a bad person? You could say like, no, he's good. Like
yeah. No,
okay,
I
so
think
we can trust.
It's a little hokey. It is a little hokey, which makes us think weird. But I think this is just supposed to be a nice moment.
Okay.
In which people who have done bad things get the chance to get the chance to feel period, and get the chance to like feel good about doing good after spending so long atoning for or suffering over like the terrible things they've done. So
no homunculi here.
No homunculi here. They're busy doing other things. They actually are. So before we get to that, I did skip over this scene, so we're just gonna circle back to this.
Hey.
It's Roy! Well, I'll be damned. Long time.
Hello, Vanessa. You're looking well.
All of his lady friends.
My, has it been a blue moon already?
Well, good evening to you, Madam Christmas.
Love
How
Madam
you
Christmas.
holding up, Roy?
I'm barely holding up at all. I was hoping you could cheer me up.
You want a drink?
It's probably not the best idea. I just got out of the hospital. But I could use something special. Hey, madam?
My pleasure.
My man's got connections.
General Grumman, you have an outside call from a Madame Christmas in Central.
Oh?
Mustang, who, of course, even though he's on his own now, he is still up to things. And so one of the things that he does is he goes to this bar.
We mentioned like in the King, there was like something in the King piece of chess.
Oh, yes. When he's reflecting about the chess pieces, he unscrews the King piece and there's a note in there. And he takes that to this bar. There's like a cute young lady there. Of course, like Mustang puts on a character of being a womanizer. He really isn't, but we kind of get to see this, and this is kind of part of his cover of being like the womanizer, cool person. So he goes up to this.
You know what was weird?
Yeah.
I guess because like the way that like that girl like hugged him, it didn't feel flirty to me.
Okay. Yeah.
It kind of felt like a hug of like somebody you like. So like I thought that this was like a family bar, and that was like his sister.
Okay.
Or like a close.
No, I think that's a
like if this felt like is this like a family place or like he.
I won't say anything because I think that this gets dropped later. I think that's a really good read.
Okay.
I think that's a really good read.
That's how I like. Yeah. And I wasn't reading into it because of somebody's ship.
No. But no, I think that's a really good read.
Yeah, that's how I'm like.
This is the impression that there's people here he has history with in some way, shape, or form that feels familial in a way. Yeah, absolutely. So he
like in that scene from Newsies. They go to like that weird like show brothel thing, and then, but like actually like Jack was like friends with the woman.
Yeah. So at the bar, Mustang meets with a woman named Madame Christmas. Seems like she knows things. Madame Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
This will be a good Christmas this year, right?
Yes. This Christmas feels like that first Christmas to me, I think. However that song goes. Anyway.
That's right.
And happy first Christmas to me. Please cut that out. Anyway. So they kind of have making small talk, and then he gives her the sheet of paper. And then she goes off to make a phone call. Turns out that phone is being connected to it's the secret line for Lieutenant General Grumman.
Who's the guy that was Mustang's boss?
Kind of Mustang's boss, or just kind of like
a mentor?
Almost, I would say it's more of a mentor.
Military mentor we like.
Yeah, so we like Grumman. He's a cool dude. And we would call them, he would have been more of like Mustang's mentor figure. And he played a lot of chess with Mustang when he was over in the East City. So we know that Grumman is being tapped for something. We don't know what yet.
Hooray!
But kind of towards the last scene that we see.
The battle is over. Ishval is
Why
now
didn't you use
under
that
our
before?
control, and all thanks to you. Well done, Major Kimbley.
So tell us, how did the stone work out?
It's beyond amazing. It lets you bypass the equivalent exchange to harness an immense power.
Excellent. Write up the details in your formal
that's why he's
report
in
for
jail,
us.
isn't it?
But we'll need the stone back first. What the hell do you think you're doing?
Now let's see. I guess this makes you the only ones who know that I'm in possession of this stone.
Traitor!
And then I just blow everyone up. It's fine.
Was that a bomb? What's going on?
Turns out guys who like killing people will just keep killing different people.
But it's bad when it's your own people.
Oh, now it's a problem.
Yes, exactly. It's like it's like Falcon and the Winter Soldier, remember?
Oh my god, yeah, so true. Hey, so Dara, remember that guy that killed a lot of people?
Scar?
No, that other guy that killed a lot of people.
Mustang?
No, the other guy with the black hair, the long black hair.
Oh, Hughes.
No.
No, right, he's dead.
He's dead. So an alive guy that's killed a bunch of people and really enjoyed it.
Envy?
Yeah, kind of. But no, we're more human.
Kimberly,
person.
I remember.
Yes, so
there's a lot of people who killed a lot of people.
So at Central Prison, as you remember, because in the present times, anytime that we've seen Kimberly, we see him mostly in flashbacks as being somebody who kills a lot of people in the military. At the present, he is just a dude in prison. So Kimberly is here. Kimberly is now entering the present part of the story. We've seen him a lot in flashbacks. We know that he is involved. He's here now.
So he's in prison.
He has been in prison, yes.
And actually, never mind. I was gonna say, and they let him keep the Philosopher's Stone, but I'm kind of thinking he hid it.
No, well, we kind of see, we kind of course sort of see in the flashback scene that's following this. But he has a Philosopher's Stone in his hand, and he's kind of reflecting on the things that he did in Ishval.
And they're like, "Hey, good job, buddy.
Yeah.
Can we have that stone back now?"
And he was like, I like the stone. It's really cool. What if I just keep it? And then proceeds to kill all the people. He's like, I can just kill you guys and no one would know. Because only you guys gave me the stone. So no one
but like, you can't go around killing military people. That's bad.
Yeah, that will land you in jail. So
nothing else that he did.
So Kimberly uses the stone to then kill the people who know he has it, and then he swallows it.
But that doesn't make him a homunculus.
No, because it's not in his bloodstream. It's just he's basically just storing it in his belly.
Does he have like a hole in?
Like those, you know, those like just those magician guys who are able to like swallow things and then kind of regurgitate them.
Yeah, like geeks.
Kind of like that.
That's what they're called.
Yeah.
Remember Pushing Daisies, that episode where the guy had the thing? And the map, remember?
Yeah, good times.
He killed people.
He did.
This show was more murder than that.
That's impressive.
And that show was mostly murder.
It was mostly murder. Yes, so Kimberly is kind of able to hide the stone by just swallowing it and then regurgitates it when he wants it. And of course, he killed the people who knows he has the stone, but that didn't stop him from like being discovered for killing military people. And even though he killed a bunch of like Ishvalans, it doesn't matter. Once you kill military people, that will land you in prison. So Kimberly's been kind of hanging out in prison for years. And he is finally being freed from prison. He's being released. So someone at the top level, we don't know who, said like, actually let him go now.
Must have been someone pretty high up.
Shut your mouth. You must have some kind of
Thank you
big
for this
connections
nasty
to avoid
suit.
the death sentence. It makes me sick.
Nope, no connections.
Now it's time for me to be an active player in this
Makes me sick of all the war crimes you committed, unlike everybody else.
Letting a nut job like you out.
He's paroled?
You know, Warden.
He looks very Lad Russo here.
Taking care of me.
I hope I never see you again.
Nobody likes Kimberly. Like, he's being escorted out of here, and everyone is like, you suck, and I do not like you, and I have no idea why you're leaving. Then Kimberly does a very funny thing where
wouldn't it be smarter to say that he's transferring to a different prison and not he's free to go?
I think it's more of if they have record of him being released, if they see him out and about, they won't rearrest him. Because but Kimberly gives a really funny parting gift where
it was funny. Yeah, but Lad Russo was like a fun
Just my
rude
way of saying thanks.
What is
you
this?
would not have killed
Get
them.
it off! Help me!
Bye.
Kimberly, please!
You son of a bitch.
That was funny.
That's funny. Transmutes a the guy's watching to what looks like a ticking bomb. And the guy's like freaking out because everyone knows that Kimberly is a murderer.
Yeah.
Like everyone knows this. It's
well,
not like
he's a crazy murderer. Let's be honest here.
Yeah, and everyone knows that this dude sucks. And so like if he's putting a bomb on you, you assume it's gonna be an actual bomb. But it's actually a joke. And it turns out it's like a bird pops out and like a cuckoo.
I honestly
kind of
thought
thing.
there was gonna be another explosion.
Yeah,
but then people would have been aware of that.
But also, I think this is a really great at setting up Kimberly's character because everything we know about him so far is just a dude that kills people, likes killing people. I think when he does that, we kind of are seeing an extra layer of him as not just somebody who kills people, but somebody who likes to fuck with people.
Right, but he's also somebody who's aware of his reputation.
Yes. Yeah, so this kind of adds like not just a mindless killing machine, but guy who can calculate, guy who can plan, guy who might fake you out. So we know a little bit more about his character, and then of course they let him leave in a really nice suit, really nice white suit
with a hat,
with a nice hat. So I can't believe they gave him a nice hat. Yeah, and so he then goes into the car that's releasing him.
It's been a while, Kimberly. Congrats on the early release.
So I take it I have you guys to thank?
Yep, we could use a little extra help.
My first day out of jail and I already have a job.
That's better than most people.
You remember Dr. Marco, don't you?
The scientist who created the Philosopher's Stone? How could I ever forget him?
It appears he's escaped. Or we think he has.
You think?
We're still sorting out all of the details. One of the chimeras that we had watching over him has gone missing.
Yeah, I was thinking that it wasn't his body. Yep. I didn't say it out loud, so it doesn't count. But I was thinking it.
And it has a military officer in it, but of course, once the military officer starts talking, we know that it's not an actual military officer. It is Envy. And Kimberly knows enough to know who Envy is and to know that there's a purpose for him being let out of jail. And then Envy informs Kimberly that, hey, Marco escaped. They figured out that Marco did not die. They figured out, they're like, oh,
surprise!
That was a ruse the entire time. And that we figured out that Marco is out, and they're like, we need you to get Marco back alive. He's with Scar. Also would not give someone the satisfaction of killing him if they wanted it.
We're the one responsible for the extermination and all.
You do have a point. It's inexcusable if I've let a survivor crawl out of my path of destruction.
It is.
How dare you?
You're free to kill Scar if you want, but we do need Marco alive.
You released me just for this little errand?
After you've nabbed Marco for us, there's a certain little town we'll be asking you to wipe off the map. That's your kind of job, right?
It's remarkable.
I wonder what town it'll be.
It's been too long since
Actually, there's two options for towns. Okay.
I don't know if
There's
that one's going to be a...
We don't care who else you kill, just get Marco. We need him.
Alive.
Alive. And so Kimberly, I think...
It's like, cool.
Is like, all right, bet.
And then they give him another Philosopher's Stone.
And they give him a new Philosopher's
Why
Stone.
does this guy need two?
For this job.
Yeah.
A new stone. Did you use Moorish Valens to make it?
We actually used Dr. Marco's assistants who helped make the first stone for us.
Diabolical.
Your cruelty's infinite.
I don't trust them with two.
You should not.
I don't trust them with one.
Why didn't you kill me back there?
Yeah.
After all I've done. We haven't finished our conversation yet, Marco. Tell me everything you know about Kimberly.
Great question.
Also, what does two Philosopher's Stones do? Is that like double the power or just like...
Just more power. In case the other one runs out, I think. Or they trade it back. But this one, like, because the other one has been used for, like, throughout the war and to kill a bunch of people. And so need to, like, re-up that. So, like, now you don't have to without running out of juice. And Kimberly is like, cool, great. He's like, so this is just the job. This is the only job that you got me out of here for. And they're like, oh, no. After this, we have a town that needs to be destroyed, and you were really good at that. So, like, your real job is that, but first we need to get this guy.
And that could be several options.
Yeah, well, what options do you have? I mean, I know you thought of some, and I'm very curious.
I was thinking Jing, but Jing feels, like, too big.
No, Xing's a country. This is a town they need to destroy.
Okay. So I was thinking Rush Valley.
Okay.
Or what's the town that they're from?
Risible.
I feel like Risible's the better option because there's less people.
But also, if they're using those people to like make a stone, there's not a lot of people then.
Right. I guess it feels like, I guess like with Rush Valley,
it's still possible, but
there's more people that you can sacrifice for Philosopher's Stone. But I feel like Reasonable has more land.
Yeah.
Which you can use.
Yeah, I think
I know they need both. So like I feel like maybe they want if they want more land, then I'd say Reasonable. If they want more people, then I'd say Rush Valley.
Okay, makes sense.
Basically, somewhere where the Albert brothers are going to need to go protect it.
Got it. Okay. Interesting.
Unless it's some random place that I don't know.
I will say it's definitely a place that you know.
Okay, I can't think of any. I mean, no. Xerxes is basically gone.
Yeah, Xerxes is out of the country. This is this is in the country.
Okay. East City, maybe.
There's definitely options. So we'll get to there when we get to there. I probably.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't think so. Anyway, so that's where we leave Kimberly. So Kimberly's out and about. That's a problem. That's not good.
It's
and then so elsewhere, of course, we were trying to figure out where Marco is. Marco's right here. He's hanging out with Scar and his crew. Of course, that's Scar. Yoki's still hanging around for whatever reason, and Mei Chang then comes back after leaving Dr. Knox's house. So now they're kind of a complete group again.
Also, you might be able to help me decipher some of the research notes my brother left behind.
Research notes?
Before he died, my brother told me there was something strange about this country's alchemy. His notes should explain why. You are apparently skilled with alchemy. Can you tell me what
he is very good at it?
He said that our alchemy was strange? I don't know.
Sir, that little girl was able to find us.
Looks like you made it out, Mr. Scar.
She has a name.
Huh? Do we have a new companion?
He's not our companion. His name is Marco. He created the Philosopher's Stone, and he killed my people to do it.
The Philosopher's Stone? Immortality! Mr. Marco,
oh, honey.
Teach me how to create the stone.
No, you don't want to know.
Show me.
And so what Scar wants from Marco is help translating the research notes that his brother left. He's like, hey, you're good at alchemy. Figure out what this means. That would be swell, because we gotta because there's secrets. He said my brother said the alchemy here was weird. We gotta figure out what that means. So let's go translate some notes. And then Scar introduces May to Marco. He's like, hey, this is due to me, the Philosopher's Stone. May's like, oh my god, I need a Philosopher's Stone. Tell me how to make one. And everyone's like, honey. No. So, yeah.
I wonder if we told her that, would she be like, no?
Yeah, probably. I'm sure she would feel very mixed because, like, her whole clan's survival depends on her figuring out the secrets to immortality. So she's gonna feel I'm sure it's gonna be a lot of emotions for her. But
we just need to sacrifice your little panda friend, and then we'll be.
So then Scar does a really fun thing. You gotta kill a bunch of people.
You're mostly innocent. I know you realize that the boy you love is not that. What?
I only destroyed the surface. You can stop the bleeding, can't you?
I forgot about that part.
His face soft.
It will be easier for us to travel if your face is unrecognizable.
He's like immediate plastic surgery.
Nice.
We need to get to the place where I hid my brother's research notes.
Thank you. Ooh.
The north.
Up north. Yay.
Is that where your friends are?
Yeah. Where he uses his destruction alchemy on Marco's face. And so it looks like initially that he is going to be like, okay, I don't need you, bye, and like explode his face, but he only deconstructs basically the surface level of his face, so just fucks up the skin, basically permanently disfiguring Marco, so then he will be unrecognizable.
Smart!
Also probably just as a little fuck you.
But it's kind of smart.
Yeah, and then he gets May to stop the bleeding, so that's why he's waiting for her to get back, because then she can do like the kind of the healing alchemy stuff.
Hooray!
And yeah, and so they are going to go head towards the north, and because that's where the research notes are hidden. Scar has not been carrying these on his person. He went and hid them in a remote location. They have to access that first.
Can the Albert brothers come with you?
They're gonna have other things they need to do. Probably, maybe. Possibly. Anyway, that's an episode here. What do you think?
A lot happened.
A lot. There's so much going on.
I mean, this kind of felt like a chill down, but like, also like, shit's gonna go down.
Shit's gonna go down, man. It's going down. It is going down, and we are yelling timber. There's a lot going on. Anyway.
People are sad.
There's a lot.
It kind of felt like not a lot happened, but also I feel like with
my god, a lot. I think we set up a lot.
I think with like our mains, it felt like with Ed and Al, it didn't feel like a lot happened with them. It kind of felt like they were like there to do some things.
I think they're in the process of they're kind of in a transition point, and then everything else is kind of at a launching point, because we're launching the start of Mustang's team being broken up. We are launching the start of Kimberly being out in the open. That's a problem. And we are launching kind of the start of Scar's kind of quest to get these research notes and get them translated.
But I kind of do wonder like where Ed and Al going to go, because it kind of feels like they want to learn about Alka history.
Yeah.
And kind of figure out how it's different, and like, because I feel like if they can learn like that and like other forms, then they'll be stronger. So it's like, are they not gonna find like Mei Chang and be like,
only the Fullmetal Alchemist, master of all forms of alchemy, could save them. Sorry, continue.
I mean, I think it was it.
But yeah.
Yeah, you're not leaving at 4, Ronnie.
No. God, can I at least leave it? I'm probably leaving 6? No, probably later than that. That's okay.
Well, I'm assuming the next episode we won't be talking for an hour and a half. For one episode.
Yeah, probably not. Most likely, no. Anyway, so yeah, that's that episode. So we're doing a lot. We're getting started on a lot of stuff. It's very cool. It's very exciting.
No trauma.
We're setting up for the possibility of some trauma. It'll be fun.
Like a lot of trauma?
Yeah. Nah, it'll be fine.
I am worried about Risen Bull a touch.
Yeah, it's probably fair.
Maybe can we just get like Pinako out of there? Like, who else do we know?
Pinako has said she's not going anywhere.
Oh my god, maybe it is Risen Bull. Because like, what did Papa say? What did Papa say?
Oh, get the hell out of here. He said get out of the country. So I don't think anywhere is safe.
No, that's true.
He was like, hey, would you mind fleeing the country? And you're like, oh, bet. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. Anyway, would you like some trivia?
Yes.
All right, not as much trivia on this episode. The transmutation circle, which appears in the background of the episode's title card, is the moon array tattooed on Kimberly's left hand. The 2009 series shortens the conversation between Fu and the Elrics at Dr. Knox's house, including not referencing Winry or Pinako directly, and also removes the scene of Fu changing into the clothes he received from Dr. Knox before leaving the house.
I didn't think they knew who. Well, maybe they didn't know who Winry was, but I wasn't sure if they knew who Pinako was, and I think because like the only reason like they didn't say their names is because like all they heard was like, we know some auto male engineers who can help you, but they were like, we don't want to put them in danger.
And that's probably just the quickest way of shortening that conversation is like, oh, we know this guy, we know this guy, we know this guy. It's just like, hey, we know some people, any takers? And they're like, nah. So that's okay. And we get to see that they do leave in that clothing. So, it's just that just for time's sake makes sense. Oh, this is a mistake. It says Mustang places the White Queen on E1 while the correct square would have been D1. So
I don't know chess,
so that doesn't mean anything to me. Anyway, that's an episode. Any other thoughts before we move on?
Comment corner.
It's time for a comment corner. I forgot to figure out which episode we were doing. Please hold.
I thought you did figure it out when you were.
I was in the middle of it, and then we started.
Did you get I thought you got distracted by sandwich.
And if I end up rereading any comments, just be nice to me and pretend I didn't. So I'm gonna read some comments from Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood episode 21, whichever one that is. And Zom comments and says, it is funny that every time Ling gets kicked out of a room, he's always sitting cross-legged flying through the air. I love this. As we discussed before, the show has very great like little visual gags and they're very fun.
Oh, Ling, we miss you.
We do miss you. Yeah. Oh, this is when someone commented and said that they didn't like that we were doing Fullmetal Alchemist, wanted us to get back to community, and then said anime is the opposite of Batman, and then Zom comments and says, I'm sure there's a Batman anime out there somewhere. There is. So I just think that's funny. So, thanks for the engagement. That was cool.
Yeah.
Thanks for
And we said we're going to get back to community. Like,
we will. Just like, we're just.
I didn't just cut it.
Sometimes
We didn't just cut it off because like
yeah.
we cut it because we have never done a show that was over 100 episodes.
Yeah. So.
And it felt like I think like even then like we were on Community for like a while.
Yeah, so it's good to switch up
I think we've been on this for a while.
We're gonna be. It's gonna be about the same amount of episodes. I think this might be a couple episodes longer, but it's still like I think Community was 60 episodes, right?
Probably more than 60 because like
okay, and this is 64, so it's gonna be actually the same length.
I'm actually I'm thinking because like
the one season is like 22, 24.
I think it's more like 70 episodes.
Really?
Because like the first season I think is about like 25 episodes, and then I think the second season is like 23 or 24.
Yeah.
And then I think the third season is 22. But then the last 3 seasons are 13 episodes each.
25, 20. Oh yeah, you're right. 46, 71.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're actually doing less episodes.
Yeah, and then
not that we don't not to be rude, but like we don't owe anyone anything. Like obviously our patrons, we owe our patrons, getting episodes out in a timely manner, and doing things that we like. But like you're here just because we're here.
And luckily they're forgiving, especially
so
like if Patreon episodes are not exactly on time.
Yeah, we appreciate that. We try to get content out within the time frame that we say we're going to. Thank you for your patience. Sometimes life happens, and that's just life. So anyway, I think that's all the comments we're gonna read for today.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll give ourselves like a.
So this is episode 22.
Yeah. Yes. So, all right.
So that was a short episode.
Thank you so much for watching. I realized that we forgot to do the social media plug at the beginning of the last episode, but like we didn't have time. So, thank you so much for watching. Of course, you can always comment on our videos or leave a review, and we'll try to read those on the show. Or you can send us a message. We are on a variety of social media. You can follow us on Facebook.com/WittyClose. We're available on Twitter. We are at WittyClose. We still call it Twitter. You can find us. TikTok, Instagram, we're Witty Close on there. Of course, you can listen to our audio-only podcast episodes on anywhere you find your podcast, specifically Apple Podcast or Spotify. And you can also follow us on Patreon. Dara, give us like a real quick thing on Patreon.
Okay, monthly live streams.
Woo!
Spin-off show. We're watching Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yeah, we are.
We're mostly getting episodes out in a timely manner.
Yes.
You also get these episodes a week early.
I know. That's very early access, so you can tell all your friends. You can brag to all your friends, and then send your friends to
also like because I don't think I see it. If you want like a patrons to see this episode a week early, if you want to comment on Patreon, which I think you can do it.
Yeah.
And like we'll try to remember
to read those on the show. Yeah, it's fine.
I don't think anybody has except for like when we like announce something, people don't really leave comments.
Yeah,
but if you want to leave comments on Patreon, that'd be nice.
Do whatever, man. We need validation from the humans. Why else do we think that we put ourselves on the internet? Anyway, so yes, please follow us on Patreon. We would love if you gave us money, but we also shout out to all our Patreon supporters because you guys are awesome. And it makes for a really fun time, especially when we do our monthly live streams. We really appreciate
those are always fun.
Having people out and then chatting and having a good time. So stay tuned because eventually we'll start announcing our end of the year live stream as well. And which is going to be free for everyone, I believe.
Yes.
So we do try to do 2 of those a year. So if you're ever, want to get a taste of what a live stream is like, you are always welcome to join.
Yeah, definitely. We always do like usually those are either like, definitely always December is free, and then usually like sometime in the summer.
Yeah, exactly. So thank you so much for watching. If you're listening to like the extended version of this, Godspeed, my friend.
I mean, technically, like with audio, this is a 2-hour episode.
This is a 2-hour episode. So.
Actually, it's over. No, it's almost 2.5 hours.
Good Lord.
It's a movie.
It's
a Marvel movie.
So we're going to continue watching Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, and hopefully we'll talk for a little.
I just saw the title. What the heck?
Yes. So join us next time. Don't worry about it. Where we're going to be talking about Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, episode 32, The Führer's Son, and episode 33, The Northern Wall of Briggs. Until next time, I'm Concluding.
I'm Dara Whitman.
Peace. It's fine, Dara.